More than 100 hours in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. This is our review. Stay tuned for that. What's up, guys? I'm Franky Boy on this channel covering everything regarding open world games such as Kingdom Come Deliverance. And yeah, me and my team, we played Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and in total I think we put 120 hours into that game. And so we got a lot to say to that. We're gonna structure the video as followed. We are first gonna talk about gameplay, then about aesthetics and graphics. Third up, about the story without any spoilers. Fourth, the fight. Fifth, the weapons and armor. Skill trees is 6, open world 7, activities 8, difficulty 9, what we did not like 10, and what we did like 11, 12, the rating. So without further ado, let's get into it. First up, about the gameplay. We are a nobody again in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. As in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, Henry somehow, I don't want to get into the details, but he somehow gets a soft reset on himself and he needs to learn again. He is a no one, he has no fancy armor, no money, nothing. It's kind of communicated in a nice way and we need that fresh start to have the feeling of progression, so I embrace it in this case. While I first thought, doesn't make sense, but it kind of does make sense, especially if you look at the gameplay. So, of course, same as Kingdom Come 1. We need to take care about our sleep, cycle, cleaning ourselves, eat enough, need to take care about our stuff, our clothes. They need to be in good shape. Otherwise, people are gonna react different to us, and that's the big thing in Kingdom Come. We get some awesome main quests, a lot of side quests, and they got the time tracking thing as well, so you can of course fail quests by just letting time pass. So you better be careful and listen quickly if you got a new quest. There are side activities as well, e.g. crossbow shooting, etc. Some mini games. You can also do farming, grinding, getting some secret spots. That makes sense in Kingdom Come 2, and that's finally a rewarding game again. One important thing is what people say and think about you. So you got your system where you need to keep track of that. If you give traders a lot of money for their goods and don't save up on every groschen you get, they will like you and they will tell other people that they like you. By the way, nice Skyrim homage right here, right? You have stealth, you have forging, all the stuff. There's a lot to do in Kingdom Come, and after 120 hours we have not seen everything at all. There's hundreds of hours in it for you. You can be sure to at least have like 200 hours of safe awesome time in that game, and I say that with a lot of courage. Talking about the graphics, what you see here is an in-game cutscene. So yeah, that what you see is what you get right here. You have a lot of details, everything just looks atmospheric, and to be honest, you really dive into that world and get that full immersion because of the first person. I know not everybody likes that, but you will get pretty immersed. Yeah, but one thing, just that dot in the middle, why is that there? But besides that, you get really immersed. You have a lot of maps, etc. You can really dive into that world. One thing that is not too awesome is the facial animations outside of cutscenes. And the second one is, if you really look at details, some of the models you see in the open world are 2D. But in the whole composition it looks nice. But if you really dive into the details, you can then see that some are 2D, especially for plants. But in the big picture it doesn't play a role because, of course, for such an open world game you need to get performance out of the game. And how do you get performance out of a game? Yeah, you downscale the assets in a game. That's one of the only ways to get that, besides AI of course. But you can see how beautiful is that. What an awesome forest. But yeah, here the flowers or so, the leaves, some details. I personally don't care, and I think the big picture looks far more beautiful than most of the other open world games that even have ray tracing, because Kingdom Come 2 does not have ray tracing. Now for the story, we do not want to get into detail here. We can say it's very interesting. It's one of the best told stories ever. In KCD2 it's about realism, and you get that. The problems of the people are real problems that could be in a real medieval world. Besides that, the game in general is about realism, which is awesome. You are always like a small guy, of course having a journey, not going into detail there. And Henry of course will learn and change, but will always remain Henry of Skalitz. Now one of the things is, sometimes the story parts tend to be a little bit long, like the intro can really take up some time and you have to really play some hours before there's finally like something happening. And yeah, how great does that look? By the way, that footage right here is captured in 2K, and we had steady 80 to 100 FPS with an Radeon 7900. Now on my 4080, I get 60 FPS plus on highest settings all the time. Now for the fight. To be honest, what you see is what you get. It is the same as in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, but we have new weapons, e.g. the crossbow, pretty overpowered, and we have different crossbows. Some take longer to load, but they are stronger then. Some are faster to load, but they are weaker. But of course, for guys wearing cloth, it doesn't matter. We have the bow, we have like firearms now, we have the layering system for weapons and armor also. But yeah, the fight, it's pretty much the same as in KCD1. The stealth is pretty much the same again. You already know it if you played this game. It's really no different. There are some weapons that are easier than the old ones. For example, like an axe or a mace. You don't have like those 5 points to hit as with a sword, but less. Stealth is pretty rewarding. Like for real, taking out large camps in stealth is doable, while it is not really doable in an open fight without any awesome armor like here. And the armoring system, which we're going to talk about now, is awesome, by the way. You can see you have some saves for armor presets. There's one armor for everything, like with one for stealth, one for like just talking in a city with merchants, one outfit for really big fights with plate armor, one more agile fighting outfit. That's awesome that you can save those outfits. But one thing you need to keep in mind, we got one scene where our outfit was overwritten, so we had to redo it. But yeah, that was a one-time experience, and it was because of a story progression thingy. Just keep in mind that that could happen. Maybe make a double save of an outfit if you wish so. Like the armors for real are one of the highlights in that game, except for everything just looking so aesthetic. I love this game. I'm so in love with it, and maybe I feel a little bit too much passion for Kingdom Come. Just keep that in mind with my rating, but I am a fan. Now for the skill system, it's almost the same again as for KCD1. 30 levels we can increase through actions like jumping, running, fighting. This will make us stronger, more vitality, etc. It's the same thing again for KCD2. There are some skills that exclude others. If you skill one skill, you can't get the other one. That's kind of interesting, in my opinion. It makes replaying the game worth it to try out another build. It's not really about building in this game though, but it gives you a clear direction of the character. The best thing is you really feel progression, and that's important to me for an RPG. The juicy part, the open world. Yeah, we already talked about the graphics and the open world. It is just phenomenal. It's so alive. It's so beautiful. I already played this game in August 2024 in Kuttenberg, and it really looks like Kuttenberg. That's the best thing ever. They really rebuilt this city. But Kuttenberg is just one of the 2 maps, and the first one already is insane, and you can spend like 80 hours on the first map alone, which is the tutorial map in my opinion. Ah yeah, and by the way, you're gonna encounter a lot of German people in this game as well, because the Germans have been to Czech Republic back then, also for a little sword fighting club quest, which is awesome. It was better in the English version though, to be honest, because then you heard people like really talk German, while in the German version, they talk German as well. Doesn't make sense, right? And by the way, please don't worry, but this gameplay footage, it's recorded in German since we are a Germany-based channel, and I'm just translating the videos to English for you guys, so you don't have to listen to a foolish AI voice, but the real person. Because for the original, Jonas actually did the videos, and he's my friend and employee, and I'm so happy he enjoyed Kingdom Come so much. Now, there's a lot to explore in the open world. Again, we got some random loot chests in the nature, and yeah, you can see lockpicking is a thing again. It was a big thing in KCD1 and everybody hated it in the first place. They made it much easier in KCD2 than in KCD1. I mean, in the end they patched it easier for KCD1 as well, but now you can easily do it in KCD2, I promise. Maybe a little bit of training is needed. There's already treasure hunts again. Finding treasures is so rewarding. Like I already talked about that blacksmithing mini game, I would say, which is the alchemy from part 1, but yeah, you now have alchemy and blacksmithing. For KCD3 we might get yet another thing, but for Henry it just makes sense to be a blacksmith. I would say, no, this is a little bit tricky and I don't enjoy the blacksmithing minigame. I don't enjoy the alchemy part. That's just my personal preference. It is really slowing down the game, which can be positive, but for me it was like, oh, I have to aim with this. I prefer like archery mini games or so. Much more fun for me, especially with mouse and keyboard. It is quite an enjoyment to aim. Oh, and by the way, of course, putting a little dot on your screen will totally help you aiming with that crossbow. Yet I would say it's not needed and it's taking away a little bit of the fun. Of course, dice games are back again. One of the activities for the open world that's totally there. And there are random events in the open world again. Or like not say random events, but a few of the events are in the open worlds. And in this case we found like a dead horse which was attacked by wolves, and maybe we can track down that person who was on that horse at some point. We got like random raids, etc. Something happening, or like just a bunch of guys chilling on the side of the path and maybe having some dice games that could happen as well to you. So there's a lot of possibilities for you if you go through the world of KCD2. And the best thing is, of course, again, if you use like the quick travel feature, these things can happen as well. So yeah, if you quick travel, you might run into trouble, because then it's quick trouble. Now, for the difficulty level, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 does not have difficulty levels. It's just one difficulty. It is set. Now you can play the way you want this game to work and kind of make it easier for you. How do you make it easier? By grinding. You can you can bunny hop for hours and just get better because of the stats. Like, you farm all those stats in the first area before you get to Kuttenberg at all. You simply overload your character and then hop and go. You will level your stats and vitality and strength. And if the game is too hard for you, you should totally do that. But if you think, this game is easy, just follow the story and you will get slashed at some point. It is quite rewarding. It's not as hard as a Souls-like game, but it's much more difficult than, let's say, an Assassin's Creed. It's much more difficult. It's much more realistic, but it's much more rewarding as well. So risk-reward really plays here. As you can see, we were sliced by this guy approaching us because we were rocking the crossbow, which was an advantage for the first guy. But now, yeah. And by the way, for the fighting system, shields are incredibly strong, especially in the early game. Enemies with shields, they can be pretty tough and you might need hours of slashing onto them to get that shield down. Now, save games, they can be pretty frustrating. Of course, you have to save your schnapps, and it makes sense because you drink alcohol, you get more courage to do things, and then you die, and then you load that save game that you got by drinking alcohol. Generally speaking, alcoholism is a huge problem for KCD, but it's just in-game, right? But you might drink one of those savior schnapps if you encounter such a situation, because you never know, are you fighting against a really trained sword fighter or someone who doesn't care at all and he's just not paying attention enough, and yeah, then you can easily kill someone, but you of course need to get the skill to easily kill someone at first. Yeah. Thank you, Jonas, for appearing in this video. You look happy. He's really rocking and loving the game. What I personally did not like, I already told you, some 2D assets, they appear here and there. It's not a big problem, but it is there. We had a few bugs, but we did not play, let's say 90% of our playthrough was not with the day one patch, and the day one patch, it patched tons. We got an Excel file and it's infinite. We can't show it, but yeah, they really did things. Some people might argue some story parts are too long. I can totally get that, because for myself, I'm a gameplay type. I prefer to play and not to listen to infinite stories. But this story is pretty well crafted, so you want to listen to it, I guess. And I think out there, the majority of you guys are enjoying a good story. It is slowly told, really in contrast to some other modern games that are quickly told. And sometimes it's about details and character progression. Yeah, that really comes to life in small choices you get. By the way, choices are of course a part of the game, again like it was in KCD1. One of the things that got on my nerves was I got caught stealing, but I did not know why and how. I did not see anybody at that night, yet I was still the victim, and they found out it was me. Even though I brought my theft goods to my box and stashed them there, they still knew, it was you. And I don't know if that was a bug, maybe. Let's see in the future how you guys encounter stealing stuff. Now, the best things we liked about that game is historical accuracy, the whole immersion in general. It really feels like a European medieval game, and that's the goal of the game, and they really nailed that. We got a lot of freedom for our players, things to choose from, a lot of improvements from the first one, but you can still feel the Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 DNA in every inch of that game. Now, we also love the possibility to grind in that game, which is a personal type. And yeah, I just love grinding. That's why I grind games, even though those games are not concepted for grinding. One of the things I asked Charles Benoit, the game director of Assassin's Creed Shadows, is this game grindable? And he was like, it's not supposed to be, but you could grind it. And of course, for KCD, you can grind it. It is worth your time going to places. It is worth your time grinding this stuff, but you don't need to. So it's really a matter of choice if you like that. Our rating, and this is, I think, the best rating we ever gave for a game. We gave a 9 out of 10. And Jonas, he just said, yeah, why do I give a 9 out of 10? Because I'm German and I don't give 10 out of 10s. And that's quite funny, but it's kind of true. Of course, this is not perfectly perfect, but it can't be due to technical limitations. And to overcome those limitations, there's still years needed to improve. And this could be one of the best games ever made. It is totally worth your time if you like games like Kingdom Come 1, The Witcher. If you even like Ubisoft open world formula, this will stun you. Maybe you will feel a little bit overwhelmed by the toughness of this game. You will encounter parts where you're frustrated or lost a save game, but this motivated us to play on. This is one of the best games we ever played. I truly want you to take part in that journey and experience it for yourself. It can clearly be mentioned in the row of names like Elden Ring, Black Myth Wukong, Kingdom Come 2. And I'm curious what your thoughts are on that game. What do you think about that game and if you would like to pick it up? We got a lot of tutorials for you in stock, so feel free to subscribe. And that's our thoughts after 120 hours in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And of course, alone by that hour count, you see these people, they really love that game, right? Why would you waste so much time in a game you don't like? Doesn't make sense. Hope you enjoyed the German subtitles, etc. for that video. Thank you so much to Jonas, my good friend, for the awesome work on the German review version. And we will now get back to playing Kingdom Come 2. Thank you so much for tuning in. Maybe check out this video where I tested Assassin's Creed Shadows for 6 hours. Now I played it 9 hours because I was able to stream it as well. I'm not sure if AC Shadows can reach KCD2 though. Also make sure to check out this video right here. It might help you as well. Thank you so much for tuning in and I will speak to you in the next one and goodbye.